And damn, there we go. Let's see. So, Albania. You, interesting move you made earlier, huh? How'd that turn out for you? Well, Poland is looking thick, Romania's looking thick, Serbia's looking thick. And here we are. The Great Union was a dream that the last remaining Romanian Principality, Transylvania, would finally be reunited with Romania. It's no longer a dream, but a reality achieved with the blood of Romanian patriots. Soldiers are triumphantly marching through Transylvanian cities, cheered on by liberated Romanians. There's no question among the international community as to who rightfully owns the region. With the king signing the triumphant decree, the dream of Great Union is reality. Transylvania, but not Crisania, Setmar, and Aramuras, are and remain forever united with the Kingdom of Romania. This celebration, however, hide the anxiety among many nobles. After all, reversing the Treaty of Bucharest and liberating Transylvania were goals of keeping Romania's two leaders united. Now only one man can stay at the top and claim total victory, but who will get the spoils? Well, we'll go ahead. Get a front line. Well, we do now. I don't think we're in a position to want to join Germany. I mean, kind of getting raffle stomped right now. It's not looking good for them. I'll give Germany a little bit of help, though. How about that? Kozovsky! Hello, old friend. Good to see ya. I'll, if Berlin can't come back with that help, I don't know what to tell you. Wait, what? Oh! Poland! Holy shit! Oh, that was fucking savage, Poland. What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh! Well, there goes the Kaiserreich, boys! Oh man, that was fucking wild. Okay, the uprising we sponsored raised multiple ad hoc units who part in the initial stage of the offensive was crucial for our victory. Now their homes have been liberated, these units have been disbanded. Though part of the brave men has shown their willingness to join the army proper. Nonetheless, the names of true patriots will be forever remembered on the both sides of Carpathians. The nation is in their debt. Jesus. Well, I appreciate the thick Poland. Everything else is very, very concerning, I gotta say. Our troops have triumphed over the enemy and secured our claims across the Carpathians. With Transylvania secured, local militia units can safely be disbanded. These young patriots can return home. Will we need to route support for Greater Romania. Till duty calls again, Sons of Romania. So, we're still fucking kicking ass. Let's go and renew pride. At long last, the shames of defeat in the First World War have been avenged. Not only have we successfully cast off the treaty yoke, but we've also successfully rejoined our kin beneath our banner. Let all Romanians rejoice, for their finest hour has come. Mihai Stelescu has only risen to prominence some years ago, but the young shining star of a legion has quickly gathered his own cult following among the movement. It's not clear whether it's from envy, ambition, or idealism, but young man and his followers have broken off from the main legionary movement in a very high-profile event. Stelescu has announced his plans of founding a movement of his own called the Vulturia Abi, the White Eagles. Stelescu's splinter movement, while still very nationalistic and radical, calls for social reforms such as 8-hour workdays and decent minimum wages. These ideals have brought many to question the troops' true colors. And many prominent legionnaires are openly accusing Stelescu for being a lapdog for an international Jewish conspiracy. The White Eagles, in turn, have criticized the main movement harshly for betraying the working class as Romanians. Stelescu's splinter movement is already being branded apostate by many prominent legionnaires, and the captain needs to decide how to deal with a crisis within the movement. Let's go and save. Now's the chance to strike. And I guess we'll do both of those. After an inflammatory speech from the Chamber of Deputies against Codreanu, Stelescu presented numerous allegations against the captain by submitting facsimilies of Codreanu's civil registry papers. Stelescu's accusations range from accusing the captain of homosexuality and being directly sponsored by Romania's highest-ranking Freemason. While the Legion insists that Stelescu's allegations are utterly insane, King Carol saw the opportunity given and took it by dismissing Codreanu's cabinet, claiming that the Legion was no longer fit to govern or represent the people. The king appointed a new government led by Armand Călinescu. Codreanu and Reich. Well, we don't have a legal reason to. We do have a chance to arrest Codreanu's thugs while they are vulnerable. I'm gonna do some research real quick. Hold on, I gotta get out of r/Kanye. Been paying a bit too much attention because I'm waiting for fucking Kanye to drop. Where's the fucking album, dude? Let's merely dismiss them for now. So we've won for now. For now. The Padots have won. Ooh. Their primary goal of defeating Austria achieved. Many are asking the question, what now? Even though alliances in the Balkans often have been short-timed, some more idealistic voices have been promoting the idea of turning the Belgrade back into a long-term alliance. Not only defend the Balkans against foreign threats, but also cooperate economically and bring prosperity to both Serbian and Romanian nations. More pessimistic voices point out all the perceived problems. Ideological differences, whisper not, disbelief over whether the Balkans can really stand up against behemoths such as Germany and Russia on their own. Regardless, should our government endorse the idea of long-term cooperation, it will greatly increase the odds of our alliance staying together. We shed blood together. We shall stay together. For now, at least. We might change that later. Cornelio Codreanu is certainly not taking this dismissal meekly. Angry, fiery speeches after fiery speeches have driven the Iron Guard into frenzy. Arresting the former Prime Minister appears to have done a little to stop the demagogue from spreading his venom against the treacherous Carol. Unrest is quickly spreading as legionnaires protest the leader's dismissal, demanding his government be reinstated. These demands are, of course, unacceptable. It will be up to the military to handle the situation and ensure the legions their militaries are suppressed. Otherwise, harsher measures may be needed. Either the legion should be outright outlawed and completely suppressed, or it may be time to cut the head off a snake and let the legion fall apart on its own. Kill him. This will surely not backfire at all. No way. Not at all. It's nice seeing a nice thick Poland, I gotta say. And they are fucking killing it. With growing unrest in the countryside, there were rumors a few days ago that the leader of Rheinguard had gone missing while touring the suburbs of Bucharest to rally support. Today it was announced that Corneliu Zelia Codreanu was shot while trying to escape custody in Tonkabesti, near the capital. Their leader's death was confirmed by the Codreanu surviving lieutenants, vowing to avenge him and continue his work. It will only be discovered later that he'd been dragged by gendarmes to Chivali prison and executed there. Bye, bitch. See you at Thanksgiving. So the Cindy's are doing pretty well right now. Even though the death of so-called captain did throw the legionnaires into disarray for some time, it seems they were more resilient than expected, with many of them grouping into so-called persecution commanderies under various leaders. What especially makes these developments concerning is that without their leader's command, their restraint is imposed on their behavior. The restraints he imposed on their behavior have come loose. Violence from their ranks is rising. The Special Information Service reports that there are whispers of an assassination plot. One bigger than most. Naturally, we have reason to suspect it targets a king. An emergency meeting of the Crown Council was called and various solutions were proposed to the Senate. One idea is to cut down on royal appearances outside the palace and increase royal guard detail when outside of its confines, although this may be seen by some elements of the people as a sign of cowardice. Another one related to the previous would be to temporarily delegate the king's duties to the Council of Ministers, with the ministers taking up some of the visits and protocolary journey the king has to do, albeit the risk with this idea is that the Jaeger legionnaires would try gunning down one of them instead. Finally, royal confidant and Bucharest police prefect Gabriel Marinescu, known critic of legionnaires, suggests to place their trust in police. Increasing their presence should the king be about, and vastly increasing their competencies. Critics of the plan point that the police may not necessarily be prepared to handle the issue. The legionnaires have prior experience with dealing with police members anyway. How should we proceed? I'm sure he can handle this. Fighting fire with fire. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, that's fucking ugly. Oof. The integration of Transylvania has brought upon significant changes in the political makeup of the nation. The region's dominant party for decades has been the Romanian National Party, which fought hard against Magyarization and has been instrumental in final unification of all Romanian lands. For the whole of Transylvanian politics is near absolute, they have been detached from their pre-unification Romanian politics and have no presence in the rest of the country. To rectify this, we have approached the President's Party of Ion Micheli to not only form a coalition against the Legionnaires and National Liberals, but to unify the two parties together. After long negotiations, the PNR and the PT have agreed to merge into a single party, the National Peasants' Party, creating a formidable political bloc that could prevent the return of either the Legion or the National Liberals. The leadership of the PNT are now deciding on who will lead the unified party. Virgil Maggiero has been the Peasant Party's main ideologue for most of its existence. It's been an outspoken critic of both the National Liberals and legionary political monopolies. Representing the left wing, his platform is centered around the community of producers, supporting cooperative farming and the dominance of labor over capital. Ionu Mainiu was one of the leaders of PNR and is seen as leading the center of a new party with a platform focusing on class collaboration and corporatism. Alexandru Vaida-Voevod was the other big name of PNR and maintains a more conservative approach within the party's right wing. His platform is economically driven, focusing on regional development and national stability. The Free Leaders at their core support a more decentralized approach to comparative centralism of National Liberals and Legion, mixed economic policies, and parliamentary democracy. Let's see, I don't... Let me check this. Let's do the center path. Ayulu Mani was elected chairman. Well, I'm sure this isn't going to come to play because we still got Carol. And Carol will lead the way and nothing bad will happen at all. I'm sure. Oh no! Something bad happened. Well, when their founder was killed, the Legion vowed to avenge him, and they have succeeded. Driving to Bucharest in a luxury automobile, King Carol was ambushed by a legionary death squad and shot several times, killing him and the other occupants. The assassins, calling themselves the Avengers, quickly fled the scene. Well, with the death of a new king, the crown's passed on to his son Mihai. The country enters a new stage of chaos, and the nation's future remains uncertain. Well, if King Carol II gone, a question has arisen regarding the succession. Under normal circumstances, his son Mihai would inherit the throne, and many consider that his youth and seeming docility would make him an ideal candidate to succeed his father. However, the many attendees of Crown Council have said that Mihai is more sympathetic to the idea of democracy and a constitutional monarchy, and may prove himself to be uncooperative. The solution they propose would be make a deal with Prince Nicolae, who, in addition to not being interested in politics, has shown some sympathies to our cause. Change for modifying the royal house statute to legitimize his marriage to Iona Doleti, who would gladly take the throne. However, this paragraph may cause some image damage. Follow the line of succession, enthroned Crown Prince Mihai. After Carol II, the Romanian kingship passes to his son Mihai. In a ceremony at the Patriarchal Cathedral in Bucharest, the young king was crowned with a steel crown and anointed by the Patriarch of the Romanian Orthodox Church. While the king retained significant powers, Mihai I is a figurehead largely sidelined by the Prime Minister. There's little reason for this changing time soon. Hopefully he's easier to control. The fragile alliance between King Carol II and Romanian Codreanu's legionary movement was seemingly fated to not last long. Codreanu has been taken out in order to decapitate his movement, but his scorned followers regrouped quickly and tried an avenging gamble to assassinate the king, which has succeeded. In the wake of the bloodbath in the capital, the Prince Mihai I has been crowned king. It remains to be seen how he will manage to bring peace to the country. Long live King Mihai I. So here we are. Born to Crown Prince Carol and Prince Helen of Greece in 1921, the Crown Prince Mihai was marked by his family's tumultuous life and his country's malaise after the loss of the Weltkrieg. He has seen over much in his relatively short life, and now he finally takes the throne after the fierce power struggle between his father, the king, the then Prime Minister Corneliu Zelia Codreanu. Far more reserved individual than his bombastic father, Mihail's profound Anglophilia, appreciation towards the British monarchy, drove him to begin renewing the dramatically weakened democratic process in his country, seeing as a way to truly heal the grievous wounds opened in the wake of a defeat of national war, and that the national unification has started to patch it up. Maybe heavy burden that for his young shoulders, but the king feels that with proper guidance, both he and his country will overcome all adversaries and go forward as one. Well, there we go. Well, the feud between Carol and Codriano only ended with her death, so the remnants of Yarangard were quick to take advantage of the instability caused by the assassins. Armed green shirts have stormed Parliament and numerous strategic positions in Bucharest, while the royal palace is under siege. The army stationed in and around the city are already on the move, and will likely decide the fate of Legion's last attempt to secure the nation. Back to Bucharest. Oh shit, we have a lot of research to catch up on. Bam. 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 Bam and bam. Why not? While the army has largely been neutral in the feud between Carol and Codriano, the two leaders could both count on numerous supporters within. It's now has the key to Romania's future. Either the green shirts take control of government, or scout of Pushis and side with the young King Mihai. We will never support regicide. With the political unification of Romania's Basque Carpathians with their brothers, it made little sense to continue the separation between the metropolises of Transylvania and the ones of Moldova and Ungwalachia. As such, the two have officially established ties to one another. The Transylvanian Church, led by Metropolitan Nicolae Balan, has chosen to join the Holy Synod of the Metropolis of Ungwalachia, meaning that, while maintaining its independence, the ecclesiastic authorities in Transylvania shall place themselves fully under the Romanian umbrella. Metropolitan Primate Bartolomeu Stănescu of Ungwalachia, Archbishop of Bucharest, has welcomed the move, and rumors even have it that the enlarged Romanian Church will seek to elevate the status into a fully fledged patriarchy as a result of its vastly increased reach, a move that will certainly be welcomed by the Romanian state. Bishop of Carnes-Bes has also expressed support for the union, albeit lamenting that his failing health will prevent him from serving the Romanian Church in a better capacity. Our flock grows bigger. Well, as the army mops up the desperate remains of the Iron Guard, King Mihai has stepped in to fill the void, declaring a state of emergency and martial law until order could be finally restored properly. With the Carlist and legionary forces completely spent from their power struggle, only the army and the young King Mihai are left standing to pick up the pieces. The army will fix this insanity. Surely they will. Don Kuban is still going kind of hard, actually. I'm impressed. Let's get some more civvy factories built up. And this is where the frame rate starts to chug. This is why I remember I stopped playing Kaiserreich for a bit, just because the frame rate at this point just gets horrible. The crisis is finally over. The government has restored order seemingly once and for all. While the nation's future is still clouded in doubt, the way forward is becoming increasingly clear, and a sense of normalcy slowly returns. Time will tell what the future holds for Romania. Brave new country. After the blood-soaked end of the power struggle between King Carol II and the legionary movement, many expected the young king to yield to the unwavering green shirt and let them continue the rule, but today the young monarch has utterly destroyed these theories by announcing the dismissal of legionaries from government. The king is also assured the people that constitutional reform will ensue, that the aging constitution will at long last be updated. Democracy returns to Romania. The Netherlands has joined the Entente. Interesting. I mean, I guess they don't have much of a choice. I don't think that's going to work out too well for them, but give them props for trying. And goddamn, Poland is going ham. Well, The Royal Legionary conflict has led the nation to complete ruin as our two leaders let their squabbles turn into seeming senseless murder. With the autocrat and the captain gone, it's up to the young king and the army to pick up the pieces and rebuild Romania. Once the generals stabilize the situation, the old politicians will return, and free elections will decide the nation's future once more. Ooh. Interesting. So, because Romanian lands across the Carpathians have been under foreign domination for so long, integrating them will be a significant task, for their economies are geared towards their old oppressors. Trade and administrative relations must be shifted toward Bucharest and for the benefit of the ethnic Romanians on the region, not foreigners in their bloated feudal estates. Well, let's give some land out to Romanians. Transylvania ours. It's only natural to reply to the land reform bill there. Squarely empower reformally repress local Romanians, dispose of the foreign Magyar nobility, allowing the former to take their rightful place in the region's economy, administration, and dismantling the latter's iron grip on the region. Let's do that. Then we'll do the pacification of Suchumia. The Hungarian majority region in eastern Transylvania will be difficult to integrate into Greater Romania, for they are openly hostile to it. Nevertheless, the army and gendarmerie will make sure to maintain order, ensure that land reform can be properly enacted, prioritizing local Romanians, of course. They will soon understand that all Transylvania is to remain Romanian regardless of their hostility. And then finally, let's do the Mhedidi Commission. Looks like we'll finally get some steel available. Okay. Today let's see, that's 8 p.m., 5 December 1941, the Holy Synod voted to elevate the status of Romanian Church to a full-fledged patriarchate, with the governments of Romania welcoming the move due to its further cementation of Romania's hold over its new lands and the spiritual unity of its religious subjects being very beneficial. Orthodox clerics on both sides of the Carpathians have expressed their appreciation towards this increased status, bringing up the as Bulgaria and that of Serbia as examples of why Romania should finally have its own patriarchy. Supportive voices from other denominations have also risen, most prominently that of Greek Catholic Bishop of Cluj Gieri, Iuliu Hosu. Now the last remaining issue is choose the first patriarch of United Romania. Free candidates have reached a particular level of notability. First is the incumbent Metropolitan Primate of that guy. Although he hasn't expressed much preference in the matter, saying that it is up to God whether he's chosen or not, and that if he isn't, he would retreat to a monastery to live out his last days in peace. His metropolitanate having been very taxing. Another candidate is Nicodem Muntinelu, Metropolitan Moldova, whose firm stance on syndicalism has earned him many sympathies in the country. Finally, as a show of unity, we could elect the incumbent Metropolitan Transylvania, Nicolae Balan, who showed himself to be a very careful teacher to his flock, and grew to be very respected in addition to being very interested in the education of Transylvanian Romanians and national unity. Let's go... Metropolitan Primate Bartolomeu for continuity and steady leadership. Let's get stability, because God knows we need some stability right now. There goes a fall of Kunming. Hurrah. Transmore is making a comeback. Look at Transamore. Well, Ah, dang it. No Poland. Poland didn't get anything from that. That kind of sucks. That feels bad. But, now what are you gonna do? Have you heard? The legionaries, they were toppled. That's what was to be expected. Of course those damn Masons wouldn't let Kodriana clean up the mess. You don't realize what this means, Vasily? We're getting a new election. It's a proper one this time. The king said the king's just a little boy tangling with the mess of big man Adrian. Brave, but let's just see what this boy's capable of. I, for one, cheer these guys, the BNT. They seem like they know their stuff. That Manu fella, don't be silly. It'll just be the P&L all over again. The announcement of new elections has stirred up debate in Romania's public spaces, as people from highest intellectuals to the peasants in the fields are wondering just what will the future of Romania hold, and are deciding what party will be the next one to lead Romania forward. Cynicism still remains strong among certain segments of populace who may hold nostalgia for Carol II or for the captain and his men, but a flourishing of popular dialogue gives many of the more educated citizens hope that democracy may yet take root in Romania. The ballot boxes will speak soon. Well, I'm not quite sure why Hungary here is independent, but they still have Carol as their leader, but we'll go with it. I think we'll end the video here.